Hello everyone and welcome back to Drishti IAS. So finally UPSC has announced prelims results. Congratulations to all those students who have qualified the prelims exam, and for those who could not make it this time, please remember this year's paper was very difficult. There were random questions, lengthy questions, CSAT was difficult, so overall a very difficult paper. So hard luck this time, but you must prepare for next year's attempt. And to begin your next year's preparation, you must start your preparation with mains preparation. So let's look at all the mains programs we have designed to make your mains preparation more structured and more efficient. So let's look at all the programs one by one. So the first program is Comprehensive Mains Mentorship 2026. Now, why will this program act as one-stop solution for all your mains needs? Let's see how. The first feature I would like to talk about is library facility. Look, before we go on and discuss about the study plan, the strategy, the most important thing a student needs is the right environment to study. The environment in which you are sitting alongside serious aspirants who are preparing for the same mains exam. Because then this environment push you to clock 10 to 12 hours a day with a minimal effort. So this environment you get in these libraries. Now, where are these library facilities available? This facility is available at all our major centers, which includes Karol Bagh, Mukherjee Nagar, Noida, Jaipur, Indore, Prayagraj and Lucknow. Okay, so we have the environment to study. What next? Now the next step is schedule and structure. Look, many of you will be writing mains for the first time in this year. And even in general, when we start preparing for mains, often we do not know where do we begin from. And therefore, under this program, we are providing you with a schedule which will let you know what to study, when to study, and when to write the test. So basically, this schedule will streamline your preparation. And now, when you have the environment to study, when you have the schedule, what is the next step? Now the next step is to prepare as per the schedule. Now how do you prepare? You prepare using your class notes. Whenever you are preparing for the mains exam, if you have your class notes with you, always use your class notes, because those are the notes you have prepared on your own. But if you feel that there are certain topics for which you do not have good notes with you, then we have got you covered with our concept notes. These are basically pinpoint and structured notes for all the GS papers, GS 1, 2, 3, 4. So for any topic, if you feel you do not have good notes with you, you can refer to these notes. You can also use these notes to value add to your existing class notes. Okay, so now we have the notes. What is the next step? Now the next step is the most important step, and this step is test. Look, at the end of the day, what an examiner is going to look at? He is going to look at your answer copies and evaluate. So you must be writing regular tests to see if you are doing well or not. And therefore, under this program, we have provided 50 tests, which includes test for compulsory language paper, essay paper, GS 1, 2, 3, 4 papers and optional paper. In fact, you will have 16 optional subject tests under this test and evaluation process. But before you write these tests on weekly basis, there is one more step between this. So there is one more step between these two steps, and I would like to discuss about that step in the next slide. Okay, so now you have written the test. What is the final step? Now the final step is you make the most of one-on-one mentorship. You have written a test, take your answer copy to your mentor, and your mentor will be able to give you a personalized feedback. He will be able to tell you whether you can improve your introduction or not, how you can value add in your answers. If the question was related to geography, then if you could draw a map in your answer or not. So overall, he will be able to help you how to gain extra half a mark or 1 mark in each answer. So make the most of this one-on-one mentorship. And also, these mentors cabins are located just next to the libraries. So it becomes very convenient for you to write the test and take your answer copy to your mentor. Now, there are certain other features under this program as well, which makes this program very unique. What are those features? So for all the prelims 2026 qualified students, these 4 programs mentioned here will be completely free. For all other students who want to opt for this program separately, they can do so on our DLA app. So the first program is GS PYQ Answer Writing Program. Now, why this program? Look, if you will listen to 100 toppers with 100 different strategies, you will find one thing in common. What is that? The importance of PYQs. PYQs are really important whether you are giving your prelims exam or if you are appearing for mains, because PYQs provide you a direction, that in which direction you have to prepare. For example, go and look at the GS3 PYQs from agriculture topic. You will realize what UPSC has been doing. UPSC has been directly lifting the questions from the syllabus and giving you in the paper as it is. So now you know how to prepare agriculture topic. How do you know? Based on PYQs. So PYQs will streamline your preparation, will give you a direction in which direction you have to prepare. Okay. Now, what are the main features? So we have covered PYQs from 2016 to 2025. Videos will be provided in recorded format. All these recordings are the latest recordings which have been done in the month of June only. But since these are recorded in format, it does not mean that you watch all the videos at 2x speed and finish the entire video. No. What should be your goal? Your goal should be, whenever question appears on the slide, first pause the video, write answer on your own, and then you should look at the faculty's discussion, because only then you will be able to compare if you could have written a better introduction, if you have incorporated the necessary diagrams or maps in the answer which faculty is telling you to do so. So all those things you can do when you have written on your own. You will also get to know that if you are able to finish a 10 marker within 7 minutes time or not. If it's a 15 marker, if you are able to finish the same in 10 minutes or not. So always pause the video and then write answer on your own, and finally look at the faculty's discussion. So we have these many features under this program, and as I said, if someone separately opts for this program, then he will also be given concept notes under this program, and these concept notes will cover all the GS papers, GS 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so what is the next program? Now, before we go on and discuss the next program, I would like to go back to the previous slide. So this step between concept notes and the test and evaluation, what I would like you to do is, suppose if you are reading GS2 paper, okay? You are reading the polity section from GS2 paper. So once you have read your notes, you must practice along with PYQ answer writing program. And once you are doing that on a daily basis, it becomes very easy for you to go and appear in the weekend test. And you can actually test yourself because you have been writing on a continuous basis. So you know what are the areas there were to improve and if you have been able to improve or not. So before you move on to this stage, write or practice along with GS PYQ program and then appear for the weekend test. So now the next program is optional PYQ answer writing program. Why this program? Again, in the last few years, if you will see, the average marks in optional have gone down. Earlier people used to score 300 plus marks in optional, but now on an average people are scoring around 250 to 270 marks. 280 is or 270 is considered a good score. And in optional, one thing you know, that there is a very good repetition of PYQs, and that's where this program will help you in streamlining your preparation, because under this program we are providing unit wise PYQs from 2021 to 2025. Please note, we are providing these PYQs in unit wise manner. So suppose I am someone who have cleared the prelims this time. Now I have just started my optional. I have read 1 or 2 units from my PSIR optional. What I can do before writing the test is, I can cover the PYQs of these 2 units using this program. So now I have comprehensively covered these 2 units. Now I can go and write the test with confidence, and I can actually see if I have improved or not. So make the most of this program. As I mentioned, in this program we will be covering last 5-year PYQs. Okay, so this was about optional PYQ answer writing program. Now in Hindi language, we are providing this program for history and PSIR. And in English language, we are providing the same program for PSIR, philosophy, psychology, mathematics, anthropology, sociology, geography, and there are few more subjects. For all the subjects we are providing these PYQs. We have mentioned the link in the description. You can go and check out the link. Okay, so the next program now we will like to discuss is GS2 GS3 Applied Current Affairs course. Now why this program? Look, if you go and look at GS3 previous year marks, you will realize average marks have been around 70 to 80. In fact, any score around 90 is considered a good score. But then there are people who are scoring 100 plus as well. But overall, the scores, average scores have gone down in this paper. Why is that so? Look, the first reason is there are 5 parts in GS3. First, economy. Second, agriculture. Third, science and tech. Fourth, environment and disaster management. And fifth is internal security. Now, all these 5 parts contributes 4 questions each, making it a total of 20 questions. But what we are doing as an aspirant, we are preparing only for these 2 units, which makes up only 40% of the paper. So this is one major issue why we are scoring less marks in GS3. Another issue is these subjects, if you look at economy, science and tech, environment, all these subjects are current oriented in nature. Now what is student doing? Student is reading current affairs on one hand, and on the other hand he is reading the static part. But he does not know how to link both these and write an efficient answer. So if you want to learn how to link static with the current affairs and then write an effective answer, this program is for you. In this program, we will have 20 classes which will cover different parts of GS2, GS3 paper, and we will also be providing subject-wise compilations to you. So we have covered current affairs in a holistic manner. What next? Now the next part is essay and ethics recorded classes. These 2 subjects are very, very important for your mains, because in these 2 subjects you will see people who are scoring 70 marks, and then there are people who are scoring 140 as well. So the range is huge, and if you want to lie on the right side of the spectrum, you must utilize this program. Under this program, we will be giving you recorded classes of Dr. Vikas Divyakriti sir. So utilize these classes and comprehensively cover these 2 subjects, ethics and essay. Now we have few more programs under our mains programs. So let's look at them as well. So if there is any student who does not want to opt for Comprehensive Mentorship Program, he can opt for GS Mains Mentorship Program. In this mentorship program, the facilities will remain more or less same except for optional subject. We will not have optional subject mentorship and optional subject 16 test as well. The rest of the facilities remains the same. The other program is optional mentorship program. If there is a student who want only optional mentorship, then he can opt for this program. So again, the facilities are same. He will get to write 16 tests. He will get to meet his mentor offline. Basically get mentorship support. There will be no library facility in this program. Rest all remains the same. Next program is Essay Excellence Program Mains 2026. As I mentioned, essay has become very important in the last few years. Why? Because there is a huge range of marks people are scoring. And secondly, what UPSC has been doing in the previous years, UPSC has been asking topics which are philosophical in nature. Now, these topics are often difficult to understand in exam hall. And once the student gets the meaning of the quote, he does not know what to write in the paper, what to write in the answer. Only examples come to our mind. And what should be the actual process? The actual process should be, first we derive the meaning of the quote, brainstorm on the given topic, build strong arguments, and support these arguments with necessary examples. So this should be the last process. And right now only examples are coming to our mind. So if you want to learn all these steps, then make the most of this program. Utilize this program. Because in this program, we will be having 5 structured classes in which we will be teaching you all these 5 classes. And we are also providing you with 5 tests. 2 tests will be half length in nature and the rest of the 3 tests will be full length in nature. Once you have a written, so one more thing, the classes will be held on Saturdays and the test will be held on Sundays. And once you have given the test on Sundays, you can come back on next Saturday and discuss your test paper with the faculty during the class itself. So you get to know how to break a topic, how to brainstorm, how to build arguments, how to write examples in support of those arguments. And you get to practice the same during the Sunday test. And if you want to get a detailed feedback from faculty itself, get the copies of your answer copy and give it to the faculty and he will discuss with you during the class itself. Okay. Now what next? Now the next program is Ethics Enrichment Program Mains 2026. Again, very important program. Why? Because ethics is one of the most neglected subjects. Even when a student is preparing for prelims, he usually does not study for ethics. He is studying polity, geography, society, economy, even not society that much, economy, then environment, geography, science and tech, all these subjects he reads. But he skips ethics. Even though this time we have seen few questions which might be related to ethics in prelims as well. So basically ethics is often very neglected during your preparation. When does one prepare for ethics? When he clears prelims and he is supposed to write mains. So now he has very limited time to prepare for mains. So in this program, we are providing you with 12 structured classes in which we will try and finish all the necessary parts of syllabus. Why these 12 classes? Because you have very less time between prelims and mains. There are hardly 2 months left. Hence, we have 12 structured classes to help you with your syllabus to get your ethics paper completed, and once you are done with ethics, you can focus on your other subjects. Apart from classes, we are also giving 5 test series First two will be sectional, in which first paper will be entirely of theory questions, second paper will be entirely of case studies, and the rest of the 3 papers will be full length in nature. Also, in this program, we will be giving you concept notes. These concept notes carry examples based on different values. Integrity, honesty, empathy, all these values based examples will be there. So these were all the programs which we have to offer you, and all these programs have been designed by keeping in mind the evolving needs and pattern of UPSC. So as I mentioned earlier, make the most of this program. You have only 2 months. Utilize these programs and give your preparation an edge over others. For further information, you can check the link given in the description box, or you can call our helpline number 87501 87501. So thank you for watching the video. I wish you all the best for your mains preparation.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.